Welcome back to The Explainer. So, if you're running a digital marketing agency right now, you already know the landscape is, well, incredibly crowded. Standing out isn't just about doing great work anymore, it's about how strategically you guide a prospect from that very first touch point all the way to a successfully delivered campaign. We've pulled together some of the absolute best insights from industry leaders to build a comprehensive step-by-step blueprint for agency growth.
Here's the roadmap we're tackling today. The agency growth engine, high-converting web portfolios, the perfect case study, winning pitch decks, and finally, scaling workflows. Let's get right into it.
Before we dive in, there's one golden rule I want you to keep in the back of your mind throughout this entire explainer, the 80-20 rule. This isn't just a sales tactic, it's a total mindset shift for your agency. We're talking about spending 80% of your time obsessing over the client's specific business challenges and only 20% talking about your own awards and capabilities. It's the difference between sounding like a desperate vendor and stepping up as a strategic, indispensable partner. Keep this framework in your head as we build out this blueprint.
All right, Section 1, the agency growth engine. Let's talk about lead generation that actually converts.
Now, what's really fascinating here is how these specific setups, sourced from CoSchedule, rely just as much on human psychology as they do on tech. Instead of annoying the user with a massive screen-blocking form the exact second they land on your site, you use slide-in scroll boxes that naturally adapt to how they're reading. And yes/no forms? They're brilliant because offering a simple binary choice drastically reduces cognitive friction. You throw in checkbox forms to give users control, and boom, you're instantly segmenting your leads based on what they actually care about. It's all about smoothing out that journey and filtering out the tire kickers so your lead quality absolutely skyrockets.
Moving right along to Section 2, high-converting web portfolios. We're showcasing actual business value here, not just pretty pictures.
Take a look at this. This is the exact standard you should be aiming for. We aren't just looking at a gorgeous website design floating in a vacuum, right? We're seeing actual device layouts paired seamlessly with hard, undeniable business context. You see the aesthetic, sure, but you also read that this team used headless CMS technology to drive exactly 11,000 specific enrollments. That right there proves your design chops actually solve real-world business problems.
You literally have to evolve past that basic grid of pretty pictures. Decision makers are not just buying your vibe, they are buying your ability to execute. A truly strategic portfolio presentation, like the ones highlighted by Studio Mesa, includes interactive project filters, so a prospect can find work relevant to their industry instantly. It also lays bare your process, showing them exactly how you work from consultation to delivery. That kind of transparency, it builds massive trust before you even hop on your first discovery call.
Which brings us perfectly to Section 3, the perfect case study. Time to prove your worth through deep dive storytelling.
If you structure your case studies using these specific, methodical steps recommended by Creative Brief, you craft a narrative that clients simply can't ignore. Don't just jump straight to the flashy video you produced. Start with the universal business challenge. What was the actual headache? Then reveal the deep audience insight your team uncovered. Because that insight, that drives the strategy, which then dictates your solution. Laying it out like a story proves your success wasn't just a lucky break. It's a repeatable process that can solve their problems too.
And here's the absolute kicker. When you finally hit the results section of that case study, you need to drop some staggering hard numbers on them. Look at this massive increase in web visits from an IntelliTonic campaign. When you slap a number like 4,000% on the screen, there is no way they can argue with it. It instantly shifts the vibe in the room from, can they do this? To, okay, how fast can they do this for us?
But don't just tell them you won. You have to show them the transparent data. Putting up an actual analytics graph that shows a steady, undeniable climb over a 6-month period is incredibly persuasive. Honestly, raw, data-led insight is 10 times more powerful than a generic client quote saying, "Oh, they did a great job." It proves you measure success the exact same way their CEO does.
All right, Section 4, winning pitch decks. Let's look at the strategies for closing those high-value B2B clients.
Before you even start designing slides, you've got to nail your tone. This B2B brand voice guideline from Squarespace is absolutely brilliant. Speak like a trusted business partner sharing actionable advice over a drink, not some stuffy corporate lecturer. Be confident, be totally transparent, and drop the marketing jargon completely. These decision makers are busy. They just want a partner who tells it exactly like it is. No BS ever, zero spin. When you get into the meat of the pitch, please never just list your agency's services.
They already know you do SEO and paid social. Instead, as agency growth experts recommend, deliver a high-value audit. But here's the trick. If you dump a 100-page audit on their desk, they're going to panic. You've got to distill it down to one clear takeaway per channel. So instead of saying your backlinks are bad, say your backlink profile dropped 30%, which reduced your organic traffic by 25%. It's specific, it's actionable, and it doesn't overwhelm them.
These core principles right here, they combine to make your pitch totally foolproof. Hit them with social proof immediately, logos, big numbers, because they need to know you're credible before they'll even listen to your ideas. Make sure every single slide has a one-line takeaway. And honestly, the best part about this structure is that it makes your deck so crystal clear it can be passed around internally at the client's office and completely understood even if you aren't in the room to present it. And whatever you do, never leave a pitch hanging at the end. Always close with targeted, strategic questions like these. Asking what resonated helps you gauge exactly where their head is at right then and there. Plus, asking about their decision-making process drags any hidden objections out into the light so you can handle them live in the room, rather than dodging ghosted emails for the next 2 weeks.
Finally, Section 5, Scaling Agency Workflows, delivering on your promises without drowning in operational debt. At this stage, utilizing specialized project management tools, like WorkZone, for example, is basically non-negotiable. You need centralized communication to stop critical details from vanishing into the void of soul-crushing email threads. You absolutely need customizable templates so you aren't reinventing the wheel every single time you sign a new client. And streamlined creative proofing? Crucial. You can't let client approvals stall your momentum. This is exactly how you scale up, handle more work, and keep your clients happy without taking on massive operational debt.
And here's the bottom line on getting your operations dialed in. By optimizing your internal workflows, we're talking eliminating those little inefficiencies, stopping the endless chase for approvals, and actually increasing your billable hours. Platforms have measured a frankly incredible return on investment of 32.4. Think about that. Smooth operations aren't just about preserving your team's sanity. They're a direct, massive driver of your agency's profitability.
So let's look at the whole blueprint we've unpacked today. From frictionless lead capture and data-led case studies to high-value audits and totally streamlined delivery workflows, the tools and the strategies, they're all right here for you. But I want to leave you with this final provocative thought. As you implement all of this, are you fundamentally positioning your agency as a strategic, trusted consultant? Or, when push comes to shove, are you still acting like just another vendor trying to scrape by and win an RFP? Make that shift to a consultancy mindset, apply these frameworks, and just watch your agency take off. Thanks for hanging out with me on this explainer, and I'll catch you in the next one.